The iconic Connor George is back on the show. That's right. For another edition of Top 5 Tuesday, what are the top 5 best things of being a walk-on at Michigan State? Also, hey, going back to Maui in 2024, I want to talk about the Duke game from 2019 again. Let's go.
You are Locked On Spartans, your daily podcast on the Michigan State Spartans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Spartan friends, Spartan family, Locked On Spartans listeners, how on earth are we all doing? Thank you so much for kicking off your day with us here at Locked On Spartans, your team in green and white 5 days a week. On the show, we just got one guy that's just a clown with a microphone and a podcast he does every single day. And we also have a gentleman who's a Big Ten champion, Final Four participant, and all around just MSU basketball walk-on legend, Connor George. Connor, how on earth are you doing, man? You doing okay?
Doing great. Thanks, Matt. Thanks for having me. Third time on the show. We've got an awesome intro now. Everything's looking a lot, great. Thanks for having me.
We pulled out all the stops for you. We're just trying to impress you on this show, so we had to pull out the big introduction. But no, this is very exciting. Yes, you are a friend of the program. Third time on the show. The last time we talked actually was at a football game. I was coming off a high cruising altitude from a tailgate. I'm going to be way more professional today, though. This is just coffee. I will be competent the entire time. So, yes, big day for us.
Likewise.
That's when football season was fun in the first half of the Western Michigan game. And then, we're here to talk about basketball today here, Connor. There's not a ton of news going on. We are in the offseason. We're still waiting for Malik Hall's decision, Tyson Walker's decision. But there is some news, and that is Michigan State. Our basketball Spartans are going back to the islands in 2024. This was heavily rumored that they be back, but the Michigan State program officially announced Maui 2024. That is a tournament that you participated in back in 2019. I'm not going to ask, hey, how was it? Was it cool? I need you to tell us why it's overrated so all of us that can't go don't feel bad about missing out. Is that possible for you to do?
Totally overrated, not fun at all.
Good, there we go.
We didn't have
Perfect.
any fun.
Good, excellent, excellent.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm gonna get you a little bit jealous here because Maui was one of the top like spots that we went to, and we went to a lot of cool places. Like Maui is sweet out. I already texted a couple of the guys. I'm like, I'm getting tickets to that. So I'm trying to get out there.
Yeah, I'm seeing what organs I don't really need in my body that I can sell in the black market to get out there, because that ain't a cheap trip, but that is very high my bucket list to do as a State fan one day, is go to the islands to catch them out of Classic. What is so different? I guess what's the most unique thing about that tournament? Is it just the fact that it's in this little civic center, or is there anything else that really stuck out to you about that experience? Yeah,
I think it's one of the most highly anticipated tournaments, like preseason tournaments. So you have the Bahamas, you have Maui, and everyone knows what those tournaments are. And there's always 8, really, really powerhouse, good teams and a lot of good name brands that are competing there. So when you first arrive, you're looking at all these different teams that aren't in the Big Ten that you're seeing, and you're looking at different players from all these different conferences, getting a lot of preseason hype. And you're kind of just walking around before the tournament starts, get to know everyone. You kind of have some hangouts, some
gotcha.
pre-tournament events that all teams go to, and you kind of mingle, and you put on your necklaces, your chains, or whatever, your lays, and everyone's interacting, having a good time, and then right away on game day, it's kind of a different vibe, but you see everyone walk into their game, getting on their bus, going 3/4 of a mile down the street to the Civic Center. And the gym is so cool in itself. And you always got, Billis, all the top announcers are always there. So there's a lot of anticipation for that tournament for sure.
How loud does it get in that gym? Is it as loud as a big venue just because it is so small, or what is the crowd atmosphere inside those walls?
It gets loud. But then again, it's always kind of for the underdog, because there's always 8 teams and 8 different crowds there in that little gym. So when someone gets hot, or someone starts getting on a run, it's hard to hear in there. because it is so small. Like you said, it kind of reminds me a little bit of Cameron, obviously a lot smaller, but like just in the sense of like, that's the smallest building I ever played in college. But it was different. It was cool. A lot of fun. Too bad we did lose in the first game. So it made the tournament not as fun the next couple of days, because we were watching film 24/7 that trip.
That is right where I wanted to go about that. It did not start off on a great foot. So like, obviously, okay, you're having fun, you're in Hawaii, but like, what did that loss do for the rest of the week? Like, was it essentially like, oh, you're going to the beach? No, you're not. Get in the room right now, and we're going to watch some film here. Like, what did the vibe change that drastically, or was time a little easier on you guys after that?
Well, we were predicted to win the tournament, and we kind of knew that going into it. And we didn't want to lose. Obviously, we prepared really, really well. It was Virginia Tech, I believe, who we lost to, and they put a kind of a spanking on us, which wasn't fun. So we got right back to the hotel, and we did not enjoy Hawaii 1 second after that. But it was all good and a lot of fun right until game time. And it's not that we weren't prepared or focused. There are a lot of distractions there, but like that, they outplayed us. We lost, and it wasn't fun after that. We got the next 2 wins and was able to go home and call it. But it was interesting.
That's why you're trying to get back there in 2024, to reclaim all the fun that you missed out on, some surfing, some luau's, everything that Landers Nolly and those Hokies took away from you guys in the first game.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah,
That's
understandable.
Much why I want to get back out there. Enjoy it.
You guys also had a Vegas tournament in your time as well. It was a different year, obviously, but you guys also went to Vegas the year before, I want to say. Is that right?
I think it was, I believe it was 19.
Okay.
I think it was
okay. Gotcha.
It was the year we went to the Final Four. So
got it. Okay.
Yep.
And what's like? Are you able to do anything at all in Vegas? Because that's a little different. Like Hawaii, okay, there's a little something for everyone. You can get out there, relax. But like Vegas, there's something to do out there. But a lot of it is, casino predicated, nightclub predicated. I can't imagine Izzo's like, hey, got you guys a table at Omnia tonight. Got you guys a table at Wet Republic tomorrow. Like, so was the Vegas trip even fun for you guys too? I'm just always fascinated with these Thanksgiving tournaments you guys get to do.
Different because we get to see it and we get to walk around a little bit before it starts. We get some time to see the families,
Gotcha.
the 2 nights before the game. Everyone that's there, kind of walk around. We were able to like walk around the strip. We weren't doing anything. We were just walking around, kind of enjoying the atmosphere. And once the tournament hit, then it's pretty much the day before. We're just locked in. Like we don't even leave the hotel unless it's with family or we're doing something as a team. But it was pretty much locked in the hotel room.
Yeah. Man, no one's walking around with like those yard tall beer glasses on the strip. That wasn't going on before the game. Shocker, man. Nope. The sacrifices you guys make for our entertainment. Student athletes have it tough. They have it tough. I mean, you guys are the best. So thanks a lot for doing that for us, the fans. We appreciate it.
Our pleasure.
Yeah, there we go. We're going to get more into the walk-on life. This is the second iteration of Top 5 Tuesday, which might be confusing because this podcast comes out on Wednesday, but we're recording on Tuesday, so we're getting off on a technicality here. We're going to do the top 5 best things about being a walk-on at Michigan State. We have one person on the show that might know a thing or two about that, and I'll throw in some things later. Who cares what I have to say? But first, I got to talk to the people about Built Bar, so I'm so sorry, Connor. I got to send you to the bench right now. We're talking about the best protein bar in the land, gang. Built Bar. They take care of you in 3 ways. That's right. The first way, hey, they're going to take care of those taste buds. Built Bar tastes even better than a candy bar. We're talking flavors like peanut butter brownie, churro puff. They even got a little cotton candy flavor here and there that is so delightful. And the second way they take care of you, they're going to be great on the body. That's right. Most of these Built Bars, we're talking 130, 150 calories, just 4 grams of sugar, just 4 grams of net carbs, but a whopping 17 grams of protein. So if you're heading out doing some yard work, if you're going to do a workout, a nice little 18-hole day on the course for you, stash a few Built Bars in the toolbox, in the golf bag, wherever you need them. And the third way they take care of you is with convenience. Built.com. Sensationally easy and user-friendly website to use. But also if you're at Sam's Club, if you're at Walmart, well, hey, stumble on over to the pharmacy section. They got Built Bars for you as well. If you're already out doing your errands, go get yourself a box or just go to Built.com, load up on your Built Bars. And let's see if I scared Connor George off the broadcast with that Built Bar ad read, and he is still here. It is a miracle, thank goodness, because I didn't know how I was going to fill the rest of the show if you weren't still here. Top 5 Tuesday. Last week, we really started it off with a really optimistic note. It was top 5 worst things to say to a fan after a devastating loss. We had a lot of fun with that conversation with a friend of the program, Maddie May, but we got a former student athlete on. We got a walk, not just a student athlete, but like a unique look at what it's like here inside the program as a walk-on. So we're going to do top 5 things about being an MSU basketball walk-on. Connor, are you ready to play Top 5 Tuesday? I guess it's not a game, but are you ready to do it anyway?
I'm prepared. I'm ready to go.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. What's the first thing you got? What's number 5 on your countdown list here?
Number 5, I'd have to go with just the food in general.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
love it.
Got food, top-notch food after every practice, and especially for walk-ons, food, pregame meals can be a little bit more fun for walk-ons because we get to pig out, eat ice cream. We can do whatever, it kind of depends on the game, but 90% of the time when you're you're probably not going to be playing in this game.
Sure.
We got to go crazy in the food line, and then everyone else is kind of just watching us. Like, dude,
okay,
are you serious? Like, chill out. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get a box, and I'm going to take it to the room and eat it an hour before we leave, too. So food, I'm telling you, the food was A1.
Oh, man. Did you ever put yourself in a spot where, like, you absolutely gorged out, like, you were wolfing down ice cream, chili dogs, the works, and then, like, you ended up having to play that game? Did that ever happen to you, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
The funniest one was actually Duke. I believe it was junior. It was it was my senior year. So it was the year when they came to the Breslin. Obviously, I was
sure.
Play that game. They had a good game. Whatever. I ended up playing. Scored 2 points. Put back layup. What up?
Let's go.
But yes, I definitely was expected. I had a lot to eat in that pregame meal and was anticipating being crazy on the bench the whole time. And
sure.
Obviously, I mean, it probably rubbed off by the end of the second half when I got in, but I was still like, dang. I was like, this, I got to go in and, hopefully I'm not just going to start cramping immediately.
Well, there you go. Well, you had the energy to go in there and score points against Duke, so maybe it worked out in the end. So I did not even have that. I know that it's genius. I didn't have that on my radar for food. I like that, though. Hit us with number 4 in the best things about being an MSU walk-on.
Yeah, kind of similar in terms of, like, you're kind of not expected to play, but the bench mob. Love my bench mob. We take serious pride in that and talking trash to the opposing team. Won't get into all of the things that we said on the bench, but it was trash talk. And it was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun doing it as we kind of had our bench mob team. We would always go in before the game and had our routine. We would all huddle up and we would talk about, we're about to get after this team when they come in our corner. That's our corner, right by the 3-point line, right by the bench. That's our corner. We don't let them come in there. So like we took that seriously, and bench mob was fun.
I love that. The game within the game. That's fantastic. Exactly. Who was the best team to be like the bench mob against? Is it just like a classic like Michigan, your top rival, or was there like another team that was oddly like a really fun team to go back and forth with?
I would say Michigan was at an all-time high every time that we got in that game. Where if it was we were rated in the top 10 and we were playing someone in the top 25, 15, at our place or on the road. I mean, it's fun to get into it with not only the team but the crowd, because the crowd has a lot to say to our players that are playing on the floor. And if we're winning on the road, and there's nothing better to do than turn around and tell them to shut up and sit down.
So I want to get to this game in a little bit, but like that historic Duke game, the one that went well, the Elite Eight game, of course. Did you get any shots off at RJ Barrett or Zion Williamson? Did you let him know that, hey, you're going down today? Or was that a game where you're like, we're just going to let it play out here?
Zion, we let Zion be Zion.
That's a good call.
We didn't have much time to get after Zion. He still played very well, and he had a lot of good plays that we just kind of looked at each other like, we'll just sit down. RJ Barrett was in our corner often. Actually, Cam Reddish was in the first half, and then he ended up getting subbed out. But
okay, gotcha.
He got a little taste of it, and not going to say that totally affected it in this game. I'm not going to actually. You know what? Bench mob won the game.
Yeah. No, let's say that. Yeah, of course.
We got that game in the bag. They were getting annoyed with us. We totally took care of them. It was all mental head case.
RJ Barrett, 10 seconds left, down 2. He's going to the free throw line. He's thinking, like, what the hell did that guy just say to me 14 minutes ago on the bench? And that's why he clanked the first free throw. I got you.
He's like,
he see you.
He's like, I don't suck. I'm not bad. Bang, clank.
Yep, and that's all she wrote. Next thing you know, you just got to inbound the ball to Cassius, and that's history, baby. So there we go.
Yep.
That's not bad. Number 3 on the countdown. Now we're well within the Mount Rushmore here. We're in the top 3 things.
Okay.
Is it just more food?
I wish. No, I gotta say, I gotta see scout team is gonna be,
okay,
one of the best. Got to be in the top 3 for sure. Just because we were all good at basketball. Believe it or not, one day we were good. So every time we had our player, and if our player was the best player on the team, it all kind of depended on if the opposing team's best player was a big or a shooting guard or a point guard. Whoever was point guard or shooting guard that day, got to take as many shots as possible. It didn't matter if they went in or not. And when we caught fire, it was a lot of fun to be in the gym. And
gotcha.
the scout team would start talking trash to the actual team, like you can't guard us, you can't, stuff like that. So we had a lot of banter. It was all competitive banter, so it did get hostile sometimes, but it was a lot of fun. And after practice, we just go in the locker room and talk trash to each other and be like, you couldn't stop us, stuff like that. But no, it didn't matter if you airballed a shot because you get praised. You're like, hey, that's a good shot. That's exactly what he's going to do in the game. So we didn't really have any restrictions on half court shots as a regular shot, or they were just like, do it. Do it.
That's awesome. Just the greenest light of all time. That's amazing. Best player you had to kind of imitate during a scout team. Is there one that comes to mind immediately?
Yeah, I would say Peter Jock from Iowa was extraordinary in the Big Ten, just because he did have that ultimate green light, and that's who I played. He wasn't like a point guard; he was a shooting guard, and I would play Peter Jock, Ryan Klein from Purdue, and I wasn't Carson Edwards, but Carson Edwards, that scout team, got a lot of shots, but Ryan Klein was also available to shoot half quarters whenever the hell he wanted to. So I was Ryan Klein. That was always fun for me. And there's a ton of others off the top of my head that I can't necessarily remember. But there was a lot of good scout team days.
Man.
Yeah.
Whoever Carson Edwards was, like that's ice on your shoulder after practice. That's got to be minimum 85 shots during practice.
All day, just getting them up. That was Hoiberg. Jack Hoiberg played.
I love it.
Edwards. He did a good job too.
That's awesome. I love the little quip there that you said that you guys were good eventually, because like that, you guys do have like a tough situation. You play once maybe every like 5 games, and then even that you're on the bench for 38 minutes just sitting there. You're coming off ice cold, and then the adrenaline's got to be a little high too. So yeah, like these shots might not, be pure swishes. Like that is just something I want to mention. Like, what is that like when you get into a game? Is the adrenaline always super high, or throughout your career does it get a little more comfortable as you like get to your senior year?
Yeah, I was more comfortable later on in my career, but definitely like at the beginning, the adrenaline's pumping. I'm not loose at all. Like I hated it,
right?
Just because of the fact that I was considered a shooter, so like going in, sitting for a whole hour and 45 minutes, and then going in without getting a shot up in between then wasn't easy to do. And I don't care who it is. If someone goes in and airballs a shot at the end, like I'm watching it and I'm like, I know exactly, like I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like it's so tough. Because in practice you can be lights out, and everyone on the team knows it. But then you get on national television, and everyone's like, "Oh, the walk-ons are in. They're going to airball." Well, they're actually good players, and I got to defend my walk-ons. There are a lot of good players that could have played elsewhere, and like they get in there and they're ice cold, and adrenaline's going crazy because everyone's cheering for you, and there's 17,000 people in the stands, maybe 14, 10, maybe 10 at that point, but still nerve-wracking at times too. You just want to make it. You want to make every shot you take. So,
of course, and like you're often going against guys that are still like solid on the other team. Like they don't put their walk-ons in if they're getting blown out, and like they're angry. Like they want to play tough defense too. So it's a tough situation.
They're trying to cover the spread too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But yeah, there was I wish I'd remembered his name. I think he was a walk-on like 1 year, 2012, and then 2013 I played against him at IM West, and like this kid was just wrecking shop. Like he just going on a tear. It's like when he goes on the court, it's like, okay, it doesn't look that great. And then when he's around normal people, like this guy is Joel Embiid. Like it's out of control. So yeah, it's got to give credit to the walk-on gang. Right there. Swear I'm not just pandering to you. Like this is actually something that is very important to address. You have to address this like for the greater good here. Yes. All right, we're down to our final 2 here. Got to make them count. What is number 2 on your list of best things about being a walk-on at Michigan State?
Got to say the gear. Got to say
there
the
it is.
Gear.
Yep. Knew it was coming. Knew it was coming.
It was either 2 or 1. I'm not gonna lie. I wrote it down as 1, but then as I'm talking to you, I'm like, I gotta switch this up right now. But gear's got to be number 2. I still have a lot of it. Still got plenty of not plenty anymore. I've worn them all out, but got a couple shoes left to spare. And, I wasn't one of those people that are like, oh, I'm gonna end my career and then sell my shoes because I'm like, I'm gonna wear these. I'm still gonna play.
Sure.
And I wear shoes out fast. So still got a couple new pairs, but like all the gear that we got, we still get to keep. And I still got some of that gear and I represent. I'm trying to wear Rocky MSU as much as possible.
Love that. There we go. And because we'll talk more about the gear in a little bit maybe, but what is number 1 then? What is the one that you flipped it with? Drum roll. Here we go. Big time.
Gotta just be the travel. Like seriously, going to, like we talked about earlier, Maui. I got to go to overseas to Rome and do all this cool stuff, and got to go play on not an aircraft carrier. Sorry, we played Arizona the first game. It was in Hawaii, and got to play in so many cool venues. I mean, traveling to Minneapolis for the Final Four, like all of this stuff is included. Are you kidding me? I could just hop on a private plane and get to our game and call it a day. I mean, that was a lot of fun for me. I got to say travel's got to be number 1, just seeing a lot of cool places.
That's tough to beat. And like, I just had a few written down of like, hey, maybe like this could be an hour. Like obviously like the gear, like that's one. Actually, this is now just things that I'm jealous of about walk-ons. This is what this list is going to turn into. The gear. That's obviously number 1. I said you get to travel to beautiful places like Maui, Des Moines, Iowa. You get to go to West Lafayette. It's just the beautiful sprawling coastlines of Bloomington. Great things like that. You get to be someone else in practice. But the 2 things that we did not get to is that you get to be one of the most in shape people on campus. So like when schmucks like me are housing large pizzas every weekend and drinking from like Wednesday to Sunday and working out twice in the entire year, just destroying my cardio. Like you guys are actually upstanding citizens of society and can run more than 100 yards without collapsing, which has got to be important once you like leave college too. Give yourself a head start going into your 20s. Yeah.
I got to agree with that. I should have thought about that one more because we did house all the pizzas, but we could work it off.
Burned it off. That's right.
Like it's not like all the time we were on this most strict diet. We like to be in season, but like out of season, like we still did our fair share of milkshakes and all that good stuff. Sure. Burgers from McDonald's from now and then, and we were able to work it off. So that's good, and I definitely feel that right now as I'm entering year 3 in the workforce. I have a lot of respect for that as well.
Yeah, it's tough because like I'll play like IM soccer or like even like today, like I'll still play beach volleyball, what should be a very like somewhat easy sport. And like after 13 minutes, I'm ready to just keel up and die. So like I think that's because I did not give myself any head start whatsoever in college because who needs cardio? Come on now, forget it. The other thing I have too is like you're probably like recognized, which I'm sure is like cool, but like you weren't Cassius Winston, right? Like you're not getting stopped every 20 feet by people. Like what was like, how often were you recognized and stopped like that? Or like, did it ever annoy you or did you like it? I mean, that's gotta be a unique part of the college experience for a walk-on.
That was actually in the thought process as I was thinking about this. Like that was about to go in there. But it was in question. So I'll go into it. It was a lot nicer because everywhere we went, it was the Cassius, Miles, Jaron. They were running Denzel. Like they were all running the show. Everyone knew him. I felt very bad for a lot of those individuals, but like they were awesome sports about it. They would always take go out of their way and, take pictures with kids, sign autographs, whenever. Whereas me, people will recognize you and sometimes be like, yo, that's kind of Jordan. What's up? Stop you on the sides or, sometimes, they were great. But you got noticed, but it wasn't as much. It wasn't like overbearing to a point where I feel like those Cassiuses and Denzels and Miles is like, they got bombarded and I wouldn't have been able to do it. So I liked exactly where I was. It was perfect. And I'm not much of a, I'm not good. I'm not totally like that where I think I could have done it. I don't know if I could have done it or not because I kind of like staying low key.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
It is unique. Yeah. And now all the bombardment that you got to deal with is just going on a podcast 3+ times in your life. That's really all that you got to deal with now. Before we let you go, free you from this podcast and let you enjoy the rest of your week here. Look, they were playing the replays of the MSU-Duke game. And what am I going to do? Not watch it? Like, of course I'm going to sit down and tune in to that replay because that's number one, best game of all time for me as a fan. And yes, the national title game in 2000 happened, but I was very young at the time, 2019, that was sensational. What is the memory that sticks out to you the absolute most from that game back in 2019? Yeah,
I would just say halftime. We were starting to come back a little bit and we were walking into we were running into the locker room at halftime and we got to see them going into their locker room. They went off on the other side. We went off this way, and we kind of ended up meeting in the middle. Their locker room was there, but we could see them, and they're all walking. And, we just put together a little bit of a run to end the half. And that's when, at least for me, I was like, we got them. We got them. We have all the momentum going here. We figured it out. We drew up a couple good plays to start. The alley-oop first play of the half, that was drawn up by Aaron Henry and Cassius in the locker room. So right when that hit, we got it. It was executed perfectly. I just felt like we had it. So the memory I have is walking into the locker room and seeing their body language compared to ours. And we're in halftime, we're dialed in. We're we're going to beat these guys. What do we got to do? Talking more game plan, getting our, just getting our scout back on track, just more prepared. And I could see it at least I could. I don't know. You can ask any one of our team members. Sure. Maybe they don't remember that, but I certainly do. And then just running out in the court after it happened and Cassius running the clock down, and we all knew it, and we're all going crazy. And it was a blast. That was the best game I've ever been a part of at MSU as well. So you're watching it. It was the best game for you. It was the best game for a lot of us as well.
It was the best. Still get chills, goosebumps. I still feel like my heart's going to explode when I watch the game, which is completely healthy. That's a normal thing to do 4 years after the game happened. No. But that is the one other thing I wanted to hit on is running on the court after the game. And the bench mom needs to get credit for this because me, back home in Metro Detroit, I was on the couch. And when Cassius caught it, I stood up and started running immediately while the clock was still going. You guys, was that hard to stay on the bench and wait for the 4 seconds to tick off? Because you could very easily just ran on the court, got teed up, ruined the game for everyone. You could have been mortal enemy number one, but no, you guys kept it cool. Were you guys cognizant of the time? Okay, let's all stay back here.
Yep, we were all holding each other back, jumping up and down, celebrating with each other, just waiting on the clock to hit 0. And we all got our arms out. Everyone's arms are on each other and just waiting. And then once that final, those 000s hit, it was game on. We're out there, and it was a blast running around, jumping everywhere. It's fun.
Sensational. Where's the piece of the net that you got to cut off? Where's that right now? Because I'd be wearing it on my head every single day if I was you on that team.
I got it in my room. It's still on my hat, so I haven't you know what? I haven't worn it out as much. I should. I just feel like it's got to stay there. I don't want to. Not that I'm a very irresponsible person when it comes to phones, keys, hats. I'm keeping that. I'm not letting it go.
Good for you. Because if it was me, I'm wearing that everywhere. I'm wearing it everywhere, backwards, so the net is sticking out in front of me. Yeah, that's right. Everyone's going to know I was on that team. But no, you're much more modest than that.
Game. Next time we go to a football game, it might be there.
There we go. After a smooth 26 beers at the tailgate, I'll certainly catch you there. It'll be a great time. So, for sure, man. No, that's the most responsible thing you can possibly do. So, Connor, always appreciate talking to you, man. Always a great time catching up with you and chatting all things. We went to Hawaii. We went to the 5 things about being a walk-on, and of course the great Duke game. So thanks a lot, man. Really do appreciate you. Anything else you want to say before we let you go? Enjoy your week.
Appreciate you. Thanks for having me. It's always a blast, and I'll be here soon, hopefully.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. All right. Well, until then, hey, gang, we'll be back tomorrow. We got Jeremy Fears in the mix. It might be tomorrow's episode or the one after that. It's coming in the near future. So keep it tuned here. Locked on Spartans. Go enjoy the rest of your day. Love you all.